So the folks that are yet to be here can catch up later. I wouldn't want to delay any further since I already took some time from our schedule today. All right, they are dropping in. Okay. So I welcome you to Prosperity for Posterity Academy class. Today again, this is class number 4. And before we proceed today, I just want to get a kind of feedback from you. So far, what have you been able to learn in the classes so far? I understand we just started, right? And but I know there's a lot of values that has been, a lot of information that has been spread to us, taught us in the class. And of course, possibly, there might be some notions that we had before that were demystified by Mr. Sheo in one of his sessions. I would love to hear any of those. Is there any aha moment, for you in any of those classes? Talk about, how are you?
I'm fine, ma.
Excellent, nice to have you. All right, go on.
Yeah, something struck me during the last class when we were talking about technical analysis. Okay. And somewhere along the line, he also mentioned emotion. And for me, yes, well, I've done this just a little while, just tried my hands on some few dollars just to see how it works. And I ran it basically with emotions, and I blew the fund. But what really struck me the last time was when he said, despite the fact that you have to understand the technical analysis and all of that, there's still a bit of emotion in it. And that seemed to tell me that even when everything looks good, even when all the technical analysis look like fine, this is the move to make, there could be that gut feeling that will tell you caution.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. So I grabbed that at the last class. Thanks.
Excellent. Yay. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Talk about any haha moment for you. I know you've been in class for a number of times. Is there anything new or from the previous classes, things that you are now experiencing as you are trading right now?
Yeah. It's more, I'm more perfect than before.
Okay, you're perfecting your skill. Okay.
Than before. It's not like before that I'll be struggling with it. Now there are some things that I really understand on Friday because I learned them on Friday. But before and that Friday. So it has been so easier for me to play on it, as in to work on it now.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. So, and that's the beauty of coming to class, attending this, and that's one of the kudos that I'm going to give you, Tokwe. You never miss a class, except the one for this class. The only one you missed was the introductory class, which was the first class. But all the on-site classes we had, you're always there. All the virtual classes we have, you're always there. And here you are again, So even if this is basic, you're welcome. This is Forex basic. Some people might like, yeah, I've attended that before. I'm not coming for that again. But being close to the fire keeps you warm. There are things that you might have missed before, or there are things that might be said in a different way that you can now conceptualize now because of your experience. So this is really, really important, that this is the essence of the academy, to keep you in a community where you continue to hear. If other people might want to say the same thing over and over, but each time it's getting repeated, you get more out of it, because The educators might explain it in a different way. You might get it in a different way because you've been trying and you've been practicalizing what you learned. So thank you so much for, your share on that. I really appreciate it. And kudos to you for, getting better at the skill. So we're moving on. That's a very nice segue from what Broccoli shared earlier into the trading psychology. And you will see why. Yeah, thank God you've tried your hands on this before. And now you two will be able to see, okay, why did a good technically analyzed trade, went against me? And eventually at the end of the day, you might have looked at a trade, okay, why did I get out too early? Or, why did I not get out when it got to 50% of my target and things like that? So those are the things we're going to be covering today. And then you will see why it is important to hone this part of, the trading down so that you can be, wholesome in your experience. And then, I'm going to touch on, the benefit of a community as well. So, as we go. All righty. So I welcome you to today's training. Today, like I said, we're looking into the trading psychology, and the content of today, we're going to be looking at the major components of trading. Part of it, 50% of that has been covered, or I should say let me say 50% of that has been covered, in the previous classes. I'm going to cover additional, possibly 30% today. And then the other class that I may be taking us will be the risk management, which is going to be another component of, trading. And then we're going to dig deeper into trading psychology, and then the main psychological obstacles that possibly you're already running into, or that you might find yourself, you might run into in the future. All righty. So as we go on, now this might be another aha moment for you, or might be something new that you're learning. The fact that the trading analysis, generally is believed to be around 20-25%, or even less than 20% of trading. The technical analysis, the fundamental analysis, the sentimental analysis. It's interesting. My husband usually, the sentimental analysis, he usually calls it, part of that, he calls it spiritual analysis, that sometimes the Holy Spirit might just whisper a pair to him, or like you should take this trade at this time and things like that. So all of that is, within sentimental analysis. I'm not covering that today, but we've covered in the previous classes, technical analysis and fundamental analysis. I'll just touch on those, today a little bit. And that is one of the three major components of trading. The other component of trading is risk management. That is huge as well. Very, very big, because then that's a proper risk managed trade enables you to consistently increase your capital, increase, your trading account. But a less properly managed trade or account will, instead of increasing and improving on your trades, on your capital, you find yourself, if you lose 2 trades and win 3 or 5 trades, you find yourself losing more capital. Whereas if you do your risk management well, you can lose 10 trades and win 1 trade and you break even, or lose 5 trades and win 2 trades and you're making profit. So that is wrapped into risk management, which we'll cover at a later time. Today, the most important part of trading is the psychology of trading. Of course, the psychology, no matter how sound it is, you still have to enter trades. So we cannot do away with the analysis. We cannot do away with the technical and the fundamental and all of that. And we cannot do away with risk management, but the bulk of trading is in the psychology. That's why we'll cover a few of it, but that's why you and I could enter the same trade at the same time, and you could make more money than I do. Because number one, on how you risk manage your trade, and number two, on the risk, on the psychology, while I'm, how I'm managing my trade and where my mindset is while I'm managing the trade. So psychology, the mindset is very, very important. And you can see this another way to map it for us to get this image. If you can, just stamp this image in your subconscious. Okay, this is where I want us to get the psychology, the exercise on the psychology started. Stamp this image on your subconscious, that the huge part of this trading is your emotions and how patient you are. And I think Mr. Sheon touched on it in one of the classes, that there are three things you could be doing actively trading when you are trading actively. One, you are entering a trade. Two, you are exiting a trade. Three, you are waiting for trades. Waiting is also an active, exercise that you do in trading. And you can see protecting emotional capital. When you trade, when you overtrade, you are exposing yourself and lavishing your emotional capital, because you might tend to lose more. And with each losing trade, you are expending emotional capital. With each losing trade, we're going to dig deeper into it as we go. And that affects your psychology. It affects, that's when FOMO comes in, fear of, missing out. That's where FOLO comes in, fear of losing money, FOLM, fear of losing money and all of that, So when you are able to get this part down, your emotional capital, you're protecting your emotions, you're waiting for trades, you're able to exercise patience. And then once you're solid in your psychology and in your plans, then you avoid revenge trading. What is revenge trading? We're going to touch on it as we go. And then risk management, like I said, we're going to touch on that at a future time, because that is what helps you to protect your money. That is what helps you to grow your balances, right? So that is very, very huge and important as well. And as you can see, technical analysis is the fundamental. You can have all of this. And as a matter of fact, you cannot grow in all of the other two without the technical analysis, actually. Because if you don't enter trades, if you don't exit, if you don't, choose your market selection and everything like that, there is nothing to use emotions and patience for. So you have to be actively trading to be able, and when I say actively trading, waiting is part of that active trading as well. So each time you hear me say you must be actively trading, waiting is part of it as well. And actively trading does not necessarily mean live trading. Okay, so demo trading is actively trading as well, because you're teaching yourself, you are learning the skill, and you're able to control your emotions and, be able to own in your, how to wait and be patient with your trade. And then of course the risk management is there as well. So I want you to burn that image in your mind and let it not go. Now we've talked on, Mr. Sheon had touched on technical analysis, which is a strategy when you answer each of these questions, it's targeting your technical analysis. Like, what trading strategy are you using? Trading strategy will be touching on at a later time. Mr. Sheon will be teaching on that. what strategy are you using? You know, you need to identify, okay, for this trade, this is the strategy I'm entering on. What pairs are you trading? You cannot trade every pair in the book. You have to know which pair, because each of those pairs has their own character, the way they move. Some of them are very volatile, while some are more conservative in their moves. So if you're a person that is very impatient, there are pairs that goes with you. If you're a person that is, you know, you are very bold and you take risk very, very well, and you're bold in your steps, there are pairs that goes with your you know, your personality. So you have to, how do you then know? How do you understand each of these pairs that goes with your personality? Okay, it's when you have demo traded and you have kept your trading plan and you have kept your trading journal, and you can go back with, you know, within a month worth of trading, you can go back and say, wow, this pair, GBP USD, I think I do well in GBP USD. And then you figure out, okay, why do I do well in that pair? You conduct your SWOT analysis. You are able to identify your strength, your weaknesses. Oh, US 30 is a killer. Each time I take that trade, it just wipes my money. Gold, though it yields a lot of money, but each time I enter, I don't. From what I can see, my journal is not working for me. That's how you know. In your trading journal, you are able to identify, okay, these pairs, CAD JPY, it's Jelenke, it moves really, you know, slowly. I can leave it there, you know, it's like putting water in its mouth. I will still find it there, you know, when I come back. You know, you are able to know which pairs goes with your personality. And then the type of trade you take. Are you the type that wants to sit, you know, on the computer? I think Mr. Shion is that kind of person. He wants to sit on the computer for 2 hours, and that's the only time he trades. That's a scalper. You just want to grab your money quickly, you know, and you get out of the market. Whereas some people like myself, when it comes to live trading, entering live markets immediately in front of me like that, I hesitate like something else. You know, I want to go to bed, I already set it. When I wake up, I want to see it already played out. So are you a live executioner, or you are a limit trader? So you want to send your pending trades, and you know, when you come back from work, you want to see it already played out and things like that. So all of that you'll be able to find out. And then the time frame you analyzing on, you're entering on, you analyze based on, you want to do top-down analysis, you're analyzing on higher time frame, so you can go with the trend, and then you enter on a lower time frame depending on your strategy and things like that. And then what are your entry and exit plans? You have to know when it gets to this point, that's when I want to enter. However, you've planned that, okay, I'm going to enter here and I'm going to exit here for a sell. But somebody, maybe you got an alert in the charts, somebody is entering earlier. Your emotion will come into play there. Do you want to go and enter and trash your plan, or you like, okay, good job, guys. That's your plan. I'm sticking to my plan, right? So that's how you build that emotional capital. Then fundamental analysis, we talked about news last week. Mr. Shion talked about how the news affects the fundamentals, affect your trade, the economic factors. When COVID happened last year, we saw US 30 tanked, most of the pairs tanked because of what is going on in the economy, and it was global. Central bank Intel rates and all of that interest rate, it affects the way the market moves. Actually, it accelerates the move. There are some, things in the market that just standards, but All of these news accelerates the market. Politics, inflation, and things like that. Those are the fundamental analysis that we need to keep our mind on. And then we talked about, Mr. Shion had already showed the traded currencies, the pairs, that we have. And then with the traded currencies, you are able to see which one will have more volume. Like USD pairs will have more volume traded in the market. So when you have pairs, any pair that has USD as part of it traded within it, you are able to, you know for sure, you have more volume in that trade, but depends on your trading style as well, your personality. And then we talk about, we're going to, in the future, I said, we're going to dig deeper into risk management. But just as an highlight here, trading without risk management is gambling. There are a lot of people that comes into the market, they don't know what a lot size is. That's their position size. They don't know, they just put 10 standard lot size. And because after entering the 10 standard, within 5 minutes, it gave them, because it was volatile, it was moving fast, it gave them quick money, they got out of it, and they now wanted to continue to practice that. That is not sustainable. That is how people blow their accounts, and they're like, that Forex thing is a scam. It doesn't work, So, and that's what a lot of other people that trade your money do as well, because that greed gets into them, and thereby they lose all your money. So those are the things that, you personally being able to train yourself, the technical analysis, you are able to manage your emotions, to be able to manage your money, so you do not risk more than you can afford to lose. Now, this is very easy to accommodate, because all of the brokers provide demo trading, demo account that you can open and demo trade for months and hone your skill risk-free. I do not recommend, and I'm sure Mr. Shion will have his recommendation. I'm sure his own recommendation will even be stricter than myself, but I do not recommend putting any dime in the market until after you have successfully developed your trading plan and you have your trading journal already. You conducted your SWOT analysis in your trading journal, and you've identified all of the things we mentioned earlier. You've identified your trading personality, and you know for sure these are the pairs I'm trading, and these are the ones that are making me money in the demo trade. So to do that, you give yourself time, 3 to 6 months at least in demo trading before you go live. Your emotion is what will keep you disciplined to stick to that plan, and not, because you made $100 in the demo account, you're like, that is $100 I should have made in my life account. Oh, that's FOMO. That's your emotion. It needs to be checked. Use stop loss and take profit. That is how you measure how much of the water, the scoop in the sea the sea of Forex you want to take home. And then your stop loss is how much you're protecting your capital. Like, if this goes against me, this is how much I'm willing to lose. Now, throwing in the towel, like, it's $100, and I'm ready to lose $100. That is gambling. You're not a trader if you do that. All right. Have realistic profits, expectation. Your risk to reward, when you are risking, the percentage you're risking needs to be, have to be realistic to the percentage you're going to gain. Because then when you lose back to back, you are able to recover with a win. Like I said, it's possible to lose 5 trades back to back. With 1 win, you break even. Or even, you are even able to yield profit. And then you are able to diversify your trades, identify correlating trades that I know that when I trade this pair and this pair together, they usually move in the same direction. Okay, so you are able to not put both of them in the same session of trades together, and you're able to diversify your trade. So that is risk management. That is in the future. Now today, what is trading psychology? Trading psychology is a critical aspect, of achieving success in the Forex market. It deals with the emotional condition of a trader. When you're entering a trade, where is your mind? When you want to exit a trade, do you know when? You know, there are two ways to exit a trade. You either leave the trade, either to get to your take profits point or stop loss point. When whichever one it hits first. Or as you continue, and I would advise that you do that for at least a month. Then after you've reviewed your trade, then you can adjust that, right? So, but as you grow in your trading skill, you are able to know this is a reversal happening that I did not see before. Or this is a reversal pattern that if I should stay in this trade, it will now go against me, though it has moved maybe 10 pips in towards my take profit. But if I stay in this pattern that I'm looking at, it looks like a reversal pattern. I better get out now. You know, so those are, they will say you have an emotion of a machine. That means if, then, else. You program yourself. If this condition is met, then this is what I do. Else, this is what I do. And you build your emotional power, strength to the point that you stick with it. No matter what everybody else is saying, no matter what is happening around, if each of those conditions are met, if, then, else, you execute as you planned, right? And then you're able to, wait to look for potential or trade opportunities, and then all of the tax that comes with it. So that is being able to deal with your emotional condition while you're analyzing your trades, before entering your trades, while in the trades, where you need to determine, should I exit or stay, right? While you are in the trade, that applies to any type of trader you are. If you're scalping, you're able to identify, oh, I need to get out like now. You enter within 5 minutes, you realize a pattern of reversal, you get out immediately. If you are a swing trader like myself, after half a day or after a day or after a week, you see that a trade has gone, this far, but then it's the pattern you're seeing is, is a reversal pattern, you exit. If you're a beginner, enter your trade, set your stop loss, set your take profits, and leave it. Let it do what it needs to do as you gather, data to support, the type of trade that you are on. So far, I want to hear from us. What have you picked on so far? So I don't continue to nyan. So I'm sure I'm still talking to us in the class. What have you picked on so far?
Well, you really talked about what is really happening to me now, about the emotional condition.
Okay.
Because at times when I'm doing the demo trading, I'm seeing that I'm going out, my money is going out, and I'll say, this is the money that I'm supposed to be collecting now. I should even start. So
that should be my life account now, right?
So from now, I've not even lost. I don't know. It's only God. I don't know how I'm doing, but the thing is just I say, God, oh, them I will have go and collect it. Now, so that really, the way you talk now, so really make me to control myself as from today. From that,
Good.
I'll
Good.
not be doing that. So I gain more from that.
Okay, good, good. I'm glad that's the blessing that way. All right. Mr. Kinley, anything you picked so far?
Okay, what I've picked is I need to know my way
Mm,
before I start taking some decisions. Now, knowing
mm,
you is about, having, a grasp, a full understanding of how this thing works. Like I said before, I've traded on a live account before. Okay, although I thought I was just like, what is $100, $200,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and just like you said it. Maybe because that body just came back and like, okay, let me just try it. Let me see how this thing works. If it goes, it goes. Because if I blow it, I blow it. And then now I'm seeing it as no, that's not the way it works. Even if it is
Right,
just $100, you just want to blow it. Why not use that $100 to learn rather than
right.
just I don't let me just whatever happens if I perish, I perish. That.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really need to know my way, and then before I start taking such, some decisions.
Right, right. I'm glad that that's clearing things out. You know, like I said, if once you have the mindset of if I blow it, I blow it, that's gambling. That's not trading. And that's why, if anybody tells you, knowing this now, if anybody tells you Forex trading is gambling, you know what they've done.
Yes. Yes.
You know the path
That's
Yes.
they've gone, right? You
Yes.
know they have gambled,
Yes.
not the market that made them lose. They are the reason they lost because they gambled the market. And if you gamble the market, oh my goodness, the market knows how to teach you lessons, really, really quickly. So I'm glad that is clearing things out and solidifying. From today on, you are a trader. You are a trader. You're not just, I just want to play around with it. Let's see how it is. No, you plan it like a business. The goal of this is to build generational wealth from this. And if any oak tree does not grow in a year, and say it takes years for the roots to grow downwards. I'm going to share a video with us before we end today. You're going to see, how this is God sent for a lot of people. And for you to be here today, I want you to congratulate yourself, because the door of generational wealth, generational prosperity is opening for you through this opportunity. Now, this is psychology of a market cycle. If I'm sure you were able to see some of the charts from Mr. Shion's session last week, where he showed you how the candles go up and down and things like that. This is the cycle of emotions for each market that you see. You see, when the market is, growing, you begin to see all of this emotion play out. And at this point, this is Bitcoin exemplifies this a lot. When it's grown to a huge amount, you see a lot of people come into it like, yes, I'm buying now. I'm a genius. We're going to be rich. Whereas it's gotten to a point of reversal. For you to identify this as a point of reversal, there are technical analysis that you can apply for you to be able to know, I need to tread, gently here and things like that. So this is another image that you need to bond in your mind as you're going through the market as well. So now we're going to look at, this is the core of this class today, the 4 main psychological obstacles to successful trading. We are looking at fear, greed, revenge, and euphoria. Let's get into it. Fear. What are the things that causes fear? The first, thing here is fear of loss. When you are, trading, the very first thing that comes, into you is the fear of loss. You don't want to lose your capital. And this comes in if you have not trained, if you have not owned the skill, because then you don't have the confidence, right? And you're second guessing yourself. But on the other way, if you have trained, if you have demo traded, if you have conducted SWOT analysis, when this happens, this is what I get. All of that will not, affect you anymore. Causes of fear of loss: overthinking and overanalyzing. Now, overthinking and overanalyzing comes into play when you don't have a plan. That's when you allow the human factor to come in. Always remember, you are a robot in the market. You have a plan before going in the market, and you execute according to your plan as you go in the market. And then the third one, the causes of fear of loss, is too many external influences. In the P4P community, our VIP membership, we have a community, we have a text group where trade signals are sent out every day, every now and then, basically, right? If you already have your plan that this is the pair, these are the pairs I trade, but then you see that trade idea come, you are quickly going after those and neglecting your plan, then you still have trouble dealing with your emotions. So too many external influences, you are in a trade. Your plan says you stay in from this point to this point to take your profit. But because somebody else, posted that, yeah, I'm out of that trade, it's not going my way, I'm out. And then you too, you get out. Or somebody else says, yes, oh, see, it's moving good, I'm staying in. Whereas this is your exit point, you say you're going to take profit in, it's already there, or it's approaching it. But because they said they're staying in, you moved it, right? Those are things that contribute to those are the cause of fear of loss. Now, the cure to the fear is know and accept that losing is part of trading. Now, let me tell you something. If anybody tells you you don't lose trading Forex, of course, I don't have to tell you that person is lying. You've experienced it already. And talk what you mentioned the other time, you have your trades are always winners. Okay. There'll be times that it might end up in loss. And yes, one of the things I want to work with you on, I want to review your trades to see how you're entering them, the lot sizes. I want us to work together on that. The lot sizes you're using and things like that, because I don't want you to, pick up practices that would not be sustainable in a live account. Okay. Because demo accounts, there are some things that might be forgivable in a demo account that might not be allowed in a live account. In a demo account, it's not your money, it's a paper money, right? Yes. If you see a $1,000 account dip to $500, it's not your money. You might feel like, yeah, it will come back, and then you just leave it there for it to come back. But if it's your real money, $500, it will hit different. So I want to make sure you're applying the right strategies and things like that, to your trade. So I'll work together with you on that,
Okay.
So take every lost trade as learning opportunity. And that's why in demo, to be able to gather those data, to be able to know these pairs, I always lose on this pairs. You have to analyze why, and either, tweak your strategy. Or maybe after tweaking your strategy from month 1 to month 2, you still realize, or from week 1 to week 2, you still realize that it's not working for me. You can abandon it and work with the winners in your trades, right? And to overcome lack of confidence and second guessing yourself, you get training and spend time on the chart. You get training, and then you master your strategy and follow your trading plan. To build trading plan is one of the courses we cover in the P4P Academy community. So in that, you're able to develop your own trading plan. These are the things I do. This is my stop loss. This is how I determine my stop loss. This is my lot sizes. These are the pairs I'm trading and things like that. So all of that needs, we take care of. Now, greed, that is the fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. Now, all of this, 7 things a formal trader says. Have you heard yourself say any of this? I want you to, as I say, just type the one you've heard yourself say. They are all doing it, so it can't be that bad. The herd mentality. That is the external influence that, everybody is trading that pair. It must be good. Let me get in. Then number 2, just think how much money I could make. Tokwe just mentioned that has happened. She has said that to herself before. That's number 2. That is fear of missing out. Right? Then the 3rd one says, I'll give it a go. Thoughts like this show indecision. You're not decided on your trades. You don't have a plan. I'll give it a go is not a plan. And that's not the way you trade. Then number 4, I should have known that would happen. Hindsight isn't helpful. No, it skews your perspective and makes you dwell on the past. If what you need from a lost trade is information, you conduct your SWOT analysis. What did I miss? Right? What did I miss in this trade? And what should I avoid in the future? And don't dwell on the past. They must know something I don't. You continue to trade, just because the pairs were announced, you just going into it, without conducting your own analysis. There'll be times you can do that, but definitely just relying on that alone, might get you in trouble. I'm scared I'll miss a great opportunity. This is FOMO at its most fundamental. Now, the Forex trade is not going anywhere. No worries, sir. The Forex market is not going anywhere. It's been in existence for centuries. So it's not going anywhere. If a trade, if like this one plays out, especially, tends you to overtrade. You have trades already at play. You now find yourself adding more because you don't want to miss a great opportunity. Then you are over trading, and over trading gets you in trouble. The yen is a pretty safe bet, right? Everyone is trading it, following the crowd, of course. It's not a strategy. So how do you cure all of this? Remember, there will always be another trade. The market goes nowhere. It's like the ocean. It will always be there. And then follow your trading plan. What are the confirmations you're working with? if this, and these happens, if these 4 things happens, I'm going to enter the trade. If this and this happens, I'm going to exit the trade. That's your plan, and you need to follow it to a T. And then you keep a trading journal. Your trading journal will tell you, will give you data on how well you are doing, you know, on pairs, on how well you're doing, where your mentality is when you're trading, taking the trade, when you're exiting. It's work, but it's work that will pay you. It's work that will allow you to retire from your job and be able to live an investor's lifestyle, where your money, you're making money from here to invest in other things that will be making money for you. The money you make here will be making money for you elsewhere. And don't forget the Hoke 3. You're not building this just for chop change on the side. You're building, you're in this, you're coming into this to build generational wealth. And now you know that generational wealth will not be built overnight. So you do not expect to become a millionaire overnight in trading. Okay, that is greed. All right, revenge trading. What are the causes? You get emotional with losses. You take losses personal. Like I said, you need to trade like a robot. There will be times that a loss will, might hit you hard. You don't go back in and say, I'm taking my money. Oh, Lord Jesus, I'm going to take my money. And you go back into the market immediately. That is, you're setting yourself up for a failure. You're angry, then you allow greed to set in. You're setting up yourself to blow an account and setting up yourself to not trade anymore. Because when you keep blowing accounts, at some point, you will sit yourself down. Come on, man, what's going on? We can't keep doing this. If you're not willing to learn properly and you're not willing to discipline yourself, that cycle will forever be going. But you can cut it short by discipline, giving yourself 6 months to own the skill. I'm not saying 6 months to learn. It's a lifetime of learning. But to understand and develop a plan, give yourself 6 months before you even think of live trading at all. There are an endless possibilities to this for Forex trading. Euphoria. This is when, Tokma is in this stage right now. Right now, every trade I take is a winner. You're on a winning streak. You feel like you're invincible in the market. Your strategy is fire. And then you're like, I want $10 that time. Because I use 0.01. If I had used 0.1, that would have been $100. Easy. That is greed, man. And then you're like, if I had used standard lot size 1.0, that's 1,000, like that. That is greed. And then which leads you to over leveraging, using the lot size that you're not supposed to lose and discarding your risk management steps. That is setting you up for over leveraging, which tends to blow account. Down the cure. Take time off the chart to celebrate your wins. If you have a plan that in a week, I want to grow my account by 10%, and you hit your target, leave the charts. Go and enjoy yourself and come back the following week. Okay? Relax your mind. If it's a loss too, instead of being angry and all that, I don't think I covered that. Okay. Take time off the chat and get your spirit up, when it's on a loss, right? And then to avoid greed, set realistic expectations of your profits. You cannot, I remember Mr. Shion touched on this, you cannot have $100 account in your trading, as a trading balance, and expect to make $50 in one trade. If that has happened for you before, that's a mistake that happened in your favor. Don't make it a habit. The prayer is any mistake we make, because there are mistakes that happens like that. You're very disciplined, but when you're entering your trade, instead of changing your lot size to what it's supposed to be, 0.01, because the previous trade you took, or maybe even a trade in demo, was a 0.1. When you got into life, instead of changing it to 0.01, you left it in 0.1. And that worked in your favor. Do not make such mistakes a habit. We pray that, mistakes in this market will work in our favor, but do not make mistakes a habit. Okay, so review the trades to see what went well. So that's when you after you've taken time off, you come back and then, okay, this trade went really well. How did I analyze it? What did I see? And what can I improve on it, or how can I repeat it? Rinse and repeat. How can I repeat that? So that's what all I have in regards to that. But I want to show you a video. Let me bring this up to round this up, and then I'll get your feedback on what you have learned today. One moment. Thank you for your attention. And I'm glad, at least so far, you've gained some things, and I hope that it will continue to be, you will continue to remember all of this as you demo trade, as you plan, as you continue to own your skill. All right. Now, come on. Now, this Bible verse here, it says, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. In a loss, we don't call it even loss, myself. We call it a lesson. So when you find yourself in a lesson, you don't, tell you
something. We have lost millions and millions and.
All right, hold on. Can you see the video on the screen? Can you see the video on my screen?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm going to play this right now.
Something. We have lost millions and millions and millions of naira trading forex. So it's not a new thing. That's why I told you the law of persistence. You must persist. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. I didn't know anything about currency trading and about forex. I was sleeping one time, and then the Spirit of God woke me and he said, learn forex. I will never forget it. That was what made me to begin to learn the voice of God. So
all right, so that's one. I'm going to do the second one.
How do I invest in online currency trading? Not for everybody, but for some of you now, you are open and you're saying, okay, so how do I invest? There are two ways to invest. Number one, which is always the best. Pay the price and learn. You are not so dull. There is nothing that cannot be learned. See, there's nothing called secret. They are only privileged informations. Are you listening to me? If you see people successful today, it's because they know something that you probably do not know. Are you listening to me? I wasn't born like this. None of.
All right, so that's what I want to show you. Do anybody recognize that that man that I just showed us? Anyone recognize him?
It's not even I did not hear any, maybe due to the network.
You didn't hear anything, Ke?
I didn't hear anything.
Holy Father. Mr. Akunle, did you hear something?
Yes, I did, clearly.
Oh, okay. Oh, But do you recognize the person that was speaking?
No.
Mr.
No, ma.
Akumi?
No, I don't.
Oh, really? That was Pastor Selma.
Pastor. This time.
Selma.
Oh,
Selma.
okay, Selma. Okay.
Yeah. Apostle Selman.
Okay.
Very, of course, as you can tell, a very long time ago.
Yeah. That's never rest that time.
That was a long time ago. And one of the things that I see with these men of God that are into Forex is the boldness with which they preach. Because they have a separate source for funding their ministry than tithe and offering. I've seen, prophets, apostles, bishops into this, and they just go all out, to do ministry. So it's empowering to be able to, God just showed you one of the things that we heard that made my husband and I decide, yes, we are stuck. We even thought, stock then. We are into stocks too now, but our primary target then was, definitely will be in stock, was when a pastor came around, Nasa Siddiqui. He came to Florida then, to do a conference, and he was like, the Holy Spirit told him to place a stock trade, that morning, and each time that comes, it makes money. I'm like, I want to be in on this thing where the Holy Spirit whispers, gives you trade secrets, right? Insider trading, trade secrets to do, So that's the one I said my husband, adds to the sentimental analysis, the spiritual analysis of things, So that is to tell you, this is a hidden blessing that God has for his people. So that is it for me today. Do we have any questions?
That also sounds better to me than Miracle Alert.
Being like, you just got the impression this is a winning trade, and then that's the sentimental part of things that of course, after you've owned it in the demo, you are able to apply it in your life account as well. And and of course, as you grow your spiritual muscle too, knowing that the Spirit of God tells you how the Spirit of God works with you, you'll be able to trust those intuitions. All right, that's all for me. What have any additional lesson that we picked before we call it a night? It's we are done for the day. Talk about anything additional?
No, ma, no.
Okay. Mr. Kunle, anything additional?
Nothing.
Or maybe in addition to that, what step are you taking? Because I know Mr. Sean have told us to get our demo trade account set up. Have we done that? I'm talking to Mr. Akunle now. I know you have your demo account running.
Yeah, I've always had my demo account.
Okay.
What I just wanted to ask him was he didn't want the money to be more than like 300, but
okay.
On my platform, what I have, I can't go below 5,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Mr. Sheon, you want to chime in there? Because the logic behind that is you want to stay close to the capital you want to start with.
Yeah.
Once you want to go live, right? So, yeah, Mr. Sheon.
Okay, thank you. Okay, if you can't go below 5,000 on your choice broker, that means okay, you go ahead and open a $5,000 demo account, and you push your lot size to a standard lot. You see, So I think that's just the best approach. I would have loved something so small, 300, 500, so that you can actually feel it if you burn it.
Right.
You
Now,
see,
are you
like
going to go
okay.
live with the $5,000 though? Maybe you need to change your broker.
No.
Aha.
Okay.
Right?
But sorry, what broker is that, Kunle?
Hot Forex.
Hot Forex. Okay, okay. Well, 5,000, no problem. No problem. Because you see, a friend of mine, I was advising a friend of mine who opened, $3,000 demo account, and we're just discussing. And he said, I just placed one trade and I lost 1,000. I was just having. I said, you just lost 500,000 naira. You need to take it as though you are beginning to trade real money. And you see, that's the opportunity the demo gives you. You're trading, demo on a live market.
Right.
You see, it's like you trying to learn driving with Benza. You know what it means? Like they are not giving you the manual, the stick gear, like they call it in US. You are learning driving with a car that is sophisticated. It is a rare privilege. You see that? So no problem, Kunle. Just go ahead and open your 5,000. Then you push the lot, make the lot, let it be a very, very high lot. Like that, because if you make it a smaller lot, for example, you're just using $1, you may decide to be like placing multiple 1,001 trades. So let the lot size be higher, so you can feel it when the account is draining.
All right.
And thank you, Omumi. You've actually touched on so many things, and I think you are master of trading psychology.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No problem. So that is it for us today. Any question for me? All right. In the absence of any, we will see you on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday will be the same, at 8 p.m. West African time. But I think our Mondays will be at 9 p.m. always. And that's due to, apart from me taking it today, due to conflict of resources, right, for on Mr. Shion's side. So we need to for Monday, at least for now, that's my understanding. We need to maintain 9 p.m. West African time, but Wednesday and Friday, we will do 8 p.m.
Okay, noted.
All righty. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening. If you have any question, please feel free. I'm sure, I don't know when we're going to start placing trades. Once that starts, don't keep any questions to yourself. We want to see you even, sending your trades and ideas and things like that, on the chat, so that, because this is the community, we want you to, be able to get ideas off of one another and learn from one another. All right, I'll see you. Mr. Shion will see you on Wednesday. Until then, enjoy your week. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Good night.
thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good
bye-bye.
night.
Sorry.